In the quiet moments of life when the world around us seems to fall silent and we find ourselves alone with our thoughts, a fundamental truth reveals itself. The true strength of a human being does not lie in their muscles, not in their wealth, and not in their social status. True strength lies in the unwavering power of their will. Napoleon Hill, that great thinker and philosopher of success, spent more than 20 years of his life researching the secrets of successful people. He spoke with over 500 of the most successful personalities of his time and discovered a universal principle that united them all. They all possessed an extraordinary willpower that enabled them to transform their dreams into reality. Willpower is like a muscle that grows stronger through training. Every person is born with a certain measure of willpower, yet most allow this precious treasure to atrophy. They give up at the first obstacles, they doubt themselves when others criticize them, and they lose faith in their dreams when success does not come immediately. But those who achieve true greatness understand a deeper secret. Willpower is not merely the ability to persevere when things become difficult. Willpower is the conscious decision to hold fast to a clear, burning desire, regardless of external circumstances. Imagine that you stand before a high mountain. This mountain represents your greatest goal, your boldest dream. Most people look up to that summit, see the steepness of the path, the rocks and the obstacles, and turn back before they have even taken the first step. They convince themselves that the mountain is too high, the path too difficult, and they themselves too weak. But the person with true willpower sees the same mountain and makes a different choice. He tells himself, "This mountain may be high, the path may be difficult, but I will take one step at a time. I will begin today, I will continue tomorrow, and I will not stop until I have reached the summit." The power of this decision is transformative. It changes not only the external life of a person, but also their inner being. With every step they take on this difficult path, their willpower becomes stronger. With every challenge they overcome, their self-confidence grows. With every day they remain true to their goal, their conviction solidifies that they can achieve anything they set their mind to. Napoleon Hill taught us that the human mind is the most powerful force in the universe, but this force is only effective when it is guided by an unbending will. Without willpower, the mind is like a ship without a captain, drifting aimlessly on the waves of life. History is full of examples of people who achieved the seemingly impossible through their willpower. Thomas Edison failed more than 10,000 times in his attempts to invent the light bulb. When asked how he could cope with so many failures, he replied, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I have found 10,000 ways that do not work." This attitude, this unshakable willpower, eventually led to one of the most important inventions in human history. Henry Ford dreamed of an automobile for the masses at a time when cars were luxury goods for the wealthy. Experts told him it was impossible. Engineers explained to him that his ideas were impractical. Financiers refused to support his visions, but Ford would not be deterred. His willpower drove him to find new ways again and again, to develop new solutions again and again, until he finally created the Model T and forever changed the way the world moved. These men understood a fundamental principle. Willpower is not just the ability to say no when temptations beckon. Willpower is the strength to say yes to your highest goals and dreams, even when the entire rest of the world says no. True, willpower begins with a burning desire, not with a weak wish or a vague hope, but with a desire so strong that it permeates your entire being. Hill called this definiteness of purpose, the clarity of goal. Without this clarity, willpower is like a fire without fuel. It may flicker briefly, but it will quickly be extinguished. When you have found your burning desire, you must take the second step. You must develop an unshakable belief in your ability to achieve this goal. This is where most people fail. They may have a clear goal, but they secretly doubt that they can achieve it. This doubt is like poison that slowly weakens their willpower. Faith, however, is like an amplifier for willpower. When you truly believe that you can achieve your goal, not just hope or wish, but believe with every fiber of your being, then your willpower becomes an unstoppable force. But how does one develop such faith? Hill taught us that faith arises through repetition and emotional conviction. You must visualize your goals daily, paint them with vivid images in your mind, and emotionally connect with the feeling of success. You must tell yourself again and again, I can achieve this. I will achieve this. I deserve to achieve this. These self-conversations are not just empty words. They are the tools with which you program your mind. Just as a gardener waters his plants daily, you must nourish your faith daily. In time, this faith will become so strong that it will become an unshakable certainty. The third pillar of true willpower is persistence. Many people have clear goals and strong faith, but they give up when they encounter the first serious obstacles. They interpret setbacks as signs that they are on the wrong path, instead of understanding them as natural parts of the success process. Hill recognized that every failure carries within it the seed of an equivalent or greater success. This perspective changes everything. When you understand that every setback brings you closer to your goal rather than taking you away from it, then your willpower becomes indestructible. Consider every failure as a lesson, every setback as an opportunity to grow, every challenge as a chance to strengthen your willpower. This attitude transforms you from a victim of circumstances into a master of your destiny. The fourth component of true willpower is the power of habit. Most people underestimate the power of daily habits. They think that great successes arise through great dramatic actions. But the truth is that success is the cumulative result of hundreds, thousands of small, consistent actions. If you spend 1 hour every day working toward your goal, the daily progress may seem minimal, but after 1 year, you have invested 365 hours. After 10 years, it is 3,650 hours. This cumulative power of habit is one of the most powerful manifestations of willpower. The most successful people in the world understand this principle. They develop daily routines and habits that automatically lead them to their goals. They do not rely on motivation or inspiration. These come and go. They rely on the power of habit, which was built through strong willpower. Hill also taught the importance of the mastermind group. He recognized that no one can achieve great success completely alone. We all need the support, encouragement, and collective wisdom of other people. But here lies an important point. The people you surround yourself with have an enormous influence on your willpower. If you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, who doubt everything, and who give up at the first difficulty, then their negative energy will weaken your willpower. But if you surround yourself with people who have high goals, who believe in themselves, and who are willing to work hard, then their positive energy will strengthen your own willpower. Choose your companions wisely. Seek people who have bigger dreams than you, who have already achieved what you want to achieve, or who at least have the same unbending will to succeed as you do. These people will become your allies in the battle against mediocrity. Another important aspect of willpower is the ability for self-discipline. This does not mean that you must punish yourself or lead an ascetic life. True self-discipline is the ability to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term goals. Every day we face hundreds of small decisions. Should we sleep another hour or get up early to work on our goal? Should we spend time in front of the television or read a book that advances us? Should we spend money on unnecessary things or save and invest it? These small decisions may seem insignificant, but they are the building blocks of success or failure. A person with strong willpower consistently makes the decisions that lead them to their goals, even when these decisions are uncomfortable or difficult in the moment. Hill also recognized the power of autosuggestion, the ability to influence the subconscious through conscious thoughts. Our subconscious is like a fertile garden. Whatever we plant there will grow. If we plant thoughts of doubt, fear, and defeat, these will bear fruit. But if we plant thoughts of faith, courage, and success, these too will bear fruit. Most people are not aware of what thoughts they are planting in their subconscious. They let their thoughts wander aimlessly. They absorb negative news and opinions of others, and they then wonder why they feel weak and unmotivated. A person with true willpower takes control of their thoughts. They consciously feed their consciousness with positive, uplifting thoughts. They visualize their goals daily. They repeat positive affirmations, and they surround themselves with inspiring books, people, and ideas. This mental diet is just as important as the physical diet. Just as the body becomes weak through poor nutrition, the mind also becomes weak through poor mental nutrition. But just as the body becomes strong through good nutrition, the mind also becomes strong through good mental nutrition. Napoleon Hill also emphasized the importance of gratitude as an amplifier of willpower. Gratitude is not just a pleasant feeling, it is a powerful psychological force that aligns consciousness with possibilities and opportunities. When you are grateful for what you already have, it sends a powerful signal to your subconscious. I am worthy of receiving good things. This attitude attracts more good things into your life. But when you are constantly focused on what you lack, what is going wrong, or what you do not have, it sends a different signal. I am not enough. I do not deserve more. Develop the habit of listing at least 10 things you are grateful for daily. This simple practice will transform your entire mental attitude and charge your willpower with positive energy. The true strength of willpower reveals itself, especially in the darkest moments of life. Every person goes through times of trial, times when everything seems hopeless, when doubts become overwhelming, and the urge to give up becomes almost irresistible. In such moments, the wheat is separated from the chaff. People with weak willpower give up and convince themselves that their dreams were unrealistic. But people with true willpower understand that these are the most important moments of their lives. These are the moments when their true strength is tested. Hill taught us that just before the great breakthrough, the greatest difficulties occur. It is as if the universe were testing our determination. Do you really want this? It seems to ask. Are you ready to give everything for it? Most people mistakenly interpret these final tests as signs that they should give up. But people with true willpower recognize these moments for what they are, the last hurdles before victory. Think of a marathon runner at kilometer 35. Their legs hurt, their lungs burn, their entire body screams at them to stop. This is the moment of truth. Will they listen to their body and give up, or will they listen to their will and continue running? The runner who reaches the goal is not necessarily the one with the best physical condition. It is the one with the strongest willpower. It is the one who, in this critical moment, makes the conscious decision, I will not give up. I will take one step at a time until I cross the finish line. This analogy applies to every area of life. In the business world, in relationships, in pursuing personal goals. Everywhere there are these critical moments when your willpower is put to the ultimate test. Hill also recognized that true willpower must be flexible. This does not mean that you should change your fundamental goals, but you must be ready to adapt your methods. Sometimes the most direct path does not lead to the goal, and you must take a detour. Many people confuse stubbornness with willpower. They insist on a particular path, even when this path obviously does not work. True willpower is more intelligent. It holds fast to the goal, but is flexible in the methods. When one door closes, true willpower looks for a window. When one path is blocked, it finds another way. This flexibility, combined with unbending determination, makes willpower an invincible force. Another important aspect is the role of fear in relation to willpower. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of willpower. It paralyzes thinking, weakens the will, and leads to inaction. Hill identified 6 basic fears that plague most people. The fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of poor health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. These fears work like invisible chains that prevent us from unfolding our full potential. A person with true willpower recognizes these fears and confronts them directly. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite fear. The development of true willpower is a lifelong process. It is not a goal that one reaches once and then forgets. It is a daily practice, a constant decision that one must make again and again. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can leave the day to chance, let yourself be driven by circumstances, and hope for the best. Or you can take responsibility for your life, activate your willpower, and take conscious steps toward your goals. This daily choice, this conscious decision to use and strengthen your willpower, is what distinguishes successful people from unsuccessful people. It is not talent, not luck, not external circumstances. It is the consistent application of willpower. Hill also taught us that true willpower must be service-oriented. The strongest and most sustainable willpower arises when it serves a purpose that is greater than one's own ego. If your goals serve only self-gratification, your willpower will be limited. But if your goals help other people, if they make a positive contribution to the world, then your willpower will be nourished by a higher power. The great leaders of history, from Gandhi to Martin Luther King Jr., from Mother Teresa to Nelson Mandela, all had extraordinary willpower. But this willpower was not directed toward personal goals. It was directed toward serving others, making the world a better place. When you align your willpower with service, two important things happen. First, your willpower becomes stronger because it is nourished by a higher purpose. Second, other people are inspired by your mission and support you in it. Finally, it is important to understand that willpower is not a mystical or supernatural force. It is a natural human ability that anyone can develop. You do not need special genes, no privileged upbringing, no extraordinary circumstances. You only need the willingness to learn the principles and apply them consistently. The development of true willpower begins with a simple decision. The decision that you want to make more of your life than just exist. The decision that you want to realize your dreams instead of just dreaming them. The decision that you want to play the leading role in your own life instead of just being a spectator. This decision, when truly made, sets in motion a chain of events that will fundamentally change your life. You will begin to think differently, act differently, and achieve different results. The path will not always be easy. There will be times when you doubt, when you become tired, when you will be tempted to give up. But if you recognize these moments for what they are, temporary tests of your determination, then you will overcome them. And with every obstacle overcome, with every milestone reached, with every day you remain true to your vision, your willpower will become stronger. It will become an unshakable part of your character, a force that will carry you through all the storms of life. Willpower is true strength because it is the only force you can completely control. You may not be able to control what happens around you, but you can always control how you respond to it. You can always choose to use your willpower to make the best of every situation. In this moment, as you read these words, you have the opportunity to make a decision that could change your life forever. You can decide that today is the day you begin to develop your true willpower. You can decide that you will no longer be a victim of circumstances, but the architect of your own destiny. The principles are clear, the path is known, the examples are numerous. All that is needed now is your decision to live these principles, to walk this path, to follow these examples. Willpower is true strength, and this strength already lies within you, waiting to be awakened, developed, and used. The question is not whether you have this strength. The question is only whether you are ready to use it. The time for excuses is over. The time for doubts is over. The time for waiting for the perfect moment is over. The perfect moment is now. Your time is now. Your willpower is waiting for you. Use it, develop it, live it, and watch as it transforms your life in ways you cannot even imagine today. For this is the true power of willpower. It not only makes possible what seems impossible, it makes you into the person you always wanted to be.